A while back I told you I have 17 movie ideas. Currently, I have 30. These are the original 17, the ones from when I was 14. A bit past that now. Thing is, I never got around to finishing those. Not because I didn't have the time, but because I didn't want to. Mostly because there's 3 of them in a universe that I call the Worst Life universe. Now, it mainly follows one man, and the worst things that could happen to him. So now the thing is, from his graduation year, everybody else who graduated the same year as him is the other characters in that universe. It does not follow just him, it follows everybody from his graduation year. So everybody who went to school with him. These are the things that happen to all the people of class of 2028 after they graduated. So now, I don't want an actor to play this character because this would ruin their reputation probably, most likely, because the 3 movies are going to make it worse and worse. So I will be the one to step in. I will be the one to play this character. Not because I want to, but because somebody needs to do it, and I don't think I would want an actor to ruin their reputation by doing this film. Without further ado, let the story begin. The year was 2027. My brother went to school as always, but today he seemed more social. For context, my brother never really spoke to any girls, or anyone for that matter, unless he was responding to what they said. But anyways, that day my brother was helping out his table members, Lewis, George, and Brittany, since they didn't even know what they were supposed to do in the assignment in physics class. Cruz started telling them what the answers were for everything and helping them out when he was eavesdropped by the people at the table next to him. Someone named Tony and the school bop next to him, as not even they were listening to the assignment. Quoting from what my brother told me, he told me the school bop, who was at the table next to him, kept asking for the explanation for each experiment, and my brother got so annoyed. He just gave her his whole entire research packet. As she was copying down the answers, my brother Cruz started taking the extra time to clean out his bag and organize everything. Cruz's table members started eating up and starting to leave class. There was only 1 minute left on the clock. So Cruz grabbed his research packet back, since there's no way she's not done, and he saw there was a message on it. The message reading, "Meet me in my car." Cruz's response with a fast, "Crystal, you know I am not going to do that." My brother told me it was most likely from that action, that response, that caused Crystal's friends to start messing with him. Cruz would have rather been with his friends all day, talking around, but those girls wouldn't stop messing with him. No matter what class he was in, there was always one of them, or at least close to one of them, messing with him. Back then, my brother came home and told me this. I was telling him, "That sounds like you're gonna get a date, you virgin man." My brother said he wouldn't though, due to some sort of challenge or something that he said he has for himself. Later that year, these girls started slowly stopping messing with him, but as they did, it sprung another group of girls to mess with him. Because they thought it would be funny to push the limits, see how far he would go. My brother kept having these girls they kept asking him out and teasing him, but all he would do was just tell them to stop. Hearing that, I kept joking, but I also started writing this. I started writing down what my brother would tell me, because this at least makes an odd story. The school year was ending, though, and those 2 girls spread a rumor that my brother was the best at sex. My brother, who's a virgin, hated that rumor. The school year ended, and I told my brother he should have reported that they kept harassing him. Anyways, The real problem came when my brother entered his senior year. These 5 girls, they wanted him to start off the year by finding how to get him alone, how to corner him, how to get themselves to be alone with him. My brother had more time with his friends, though, so at least he could eat his lunch with them, but he kept finding that he was trapped with them. They would keep stopping him no matter where he went, before, after school. My brother had to change his routine daily, so entering from a different door, leaving from a different door, changing the route that he does to get to next class. So my brother was ending the semester when one of these girls, Ellie, thought it would be a smart or a good idea to make a rumor about framing my brother for sexually assaulting her. My brother made sure to report Ellie for making false allegations against him, but she wouldn't stop. Thankfully, the other 4 girls started distancing themselves from her, but Cruz didn't like what she was doing. And he was only being bullied by her, so hopefully that's where the bullying ends. My brother started recording his actions throughout the day to ensure that he cannot get arrested, or at least not arrested for these false charges. Yet, Ellie, she still took him to court. She started to cut. What do you want? The producer heads to the set and starts to inform the director that the studio will need to cut 2/3 of the budget, since there is no way they will get the expected profit from this documentary. The director says, "This is a biographical picture of the story that destroyed my brother. We have already spent 25% of the budget. We cannot afford to lose all that money." The producer tells him, "There is no stopping this. The final decision was by the studio. We cannot change that." The director sighs, then accepts his fate, and tries to find solutions for the next part of the film. All he needs left is the courthouse scenes, mostly. Where could he find courthouse? The director thinks on it, then concludes they could find a church. Hopefully the church would allow them to record inside and allow fake buildings to be there for only a short amount of time. So the director finds the church, and the church allows him to use the space. He haggles on to the price of donating $20 per day of shooting, as well as aiding the church with any help they need for the time being. The director creates cheap borders and false fronts to make the room look more appealing as a courthouse, to make it look like as if it's a courthouse instead of a church. 3, 2, 1, rolling. She creates the false information to make herself more appealing to the court. The jury as well as the judge began a 3-day trial. Cruz didn't like missing school since he had a college he wanted to go to. Hopefully, he still can. The first day, my brother started to list all the evidence that he had to confirm that the allegations never happened. The court started siding towards him for this first day. But the second day, Ellie made the false information, explaining her being sexually assaulted. Now, with the help of her mother claiming that she always saw my brother staring at Ellie in a provocative and predatory way. The day after, the jury read all the evidence from both sides with my brother's logs of every day explaining what happened to the acting ability of Ellie and her mother. And the jury thought, oh, my brother is most definitely lying. His evidence does not exist. So the jury sided in defense of Ellie, because they don't believe such a person would lie. My brother served 6 months in the jail, the county jail, and he was fined $2,000 until the evidence was reassured to be factually correct. So my brother never was able to remove the charges from his record, and his friends never were able to keep communication with him He wasn't even able to gain his high school degree. Though he had 26.5 credits, he would have been in the class of 2028. No school would allow him to complete his education. He couldn't even get a job. He could only do side gigs. No job will accept him. It is all your fault, Ellie. Ellie, you did this to my brother. And cut. The director tells the crew that this last scene there is in the movie, they'll need himself and a camera, as well as his brother. So the director tells them that the crew shall not follow him. He can do this on his own, and he does not want more offense to be put to his brother. The director heads to his trailer and grabs 2 digital cameras, and he sees all the emails from Ellie's lawyers telling him the film must be marketed as false, a fake story, a Hollywood story, a work of fiction. Otherwise, Ellie's lawyers will sue him for defamation. The director responds to the email, countering with an example of the numerous amounts of evidence he has to conclude that his brother is not, in fact, someone who would have committed these, and that he is in the right to make this story. The director closes his laptop and heads to the public park, setting up all the cameras, one facing the front, one facing the back, so he can have a dramatic effect and a more human effect. For his brother and him to complete ending to the movie about his brother. The director ensures his camera's position, and he starts it. Both cameras are rolling. He calls his brother and tells him to meet him at the park. The director also says that he needs to ask his brother some questions so he can get the answers to as extra audio for the movie. Crew says, yeah, I think what happened to me was, well, shouldn't have happened. I don't have any anger against Crystal or her friends since they were just messing around, but when it comes to the 5 girls, they're messing with me a lot, but I still forgive them. I just hope, well, I really just hope they don't enthuse those actions to anyone else. I don't like what Ellie did in the slightest, but I hope my movie can, I hope your movie can cause people to change, for the better at least. Anyways, I'm a mile out. I'll see you. The director hangs up the phone and sits, waiting for his brother to get to the bench. As he's waiting on the bench that he's on, suddenly a person walks past. The director gets slightly suspicious since someone is out at the park this late at night. The director passes over that fact. He doesn't care. The front-facing camera shows a hooded figure. This hooded figure is slowly sneaking behind the director, and the hooded figure stabs the director. The hooded figure disappears back behind the darkness of the night, and Cruz walks up. He sees his brother on the hill, and he says, "How's it going?" But then notices that his brother is stabbed. So he runs up, and he tries to comfort his brother. It's too late. Cruz calls 911 on his burner phone, and the police and the ambulance, they're both there. They find Cruz hugging his brother and crying. The cops detain Cruz, suspecting that Cruz himself, he must have been the killer. Why would somebody just kill somebody in the park? And these cameras better prove that Cruz is the killer. The medics confirm that his brother is dead, and Cruz screams out in agony that it's not him and that he's sad for his brother. He's crying. And that's where the film ends. Welcome back. I'm sorry about that film. I'm only sorry that it's not as good as it should be, in the sense that that's a sad story. Sadly, I will have to play that character. But today's free ad goes to the song If I'd Known, because that's the song that's on my mind. I enjoy independent music, because not many people think about independent music all the time. Which is why I'm going to use all mainly independent music for my film, The Killer's Mansion, which is where 54 characters, one mansion, fight to the death. Almost. They mostly group up into groups, but that's a good one that I'm going to make once I can find how to write each character. So, since it never ends, the show begins.